In the nation of Zimbabwe, there is a proverb which is now living amongst us. And when you read the Bible, it's very, very clear. It says, "Woe to you, O land, when your king is a servant and your princess feast in the morning." So this is something which we cannot continue to ignore as the people of Zimbabwe, because we have been affected by incompetency and heartlessness of Zanu-PF people and the leadership, the entirety of the leadership. So we are looking at this so as to try and understand what is really happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. So you go to the scriptures. The scriptures, they are very, very clear. The Bible is very, very clear. God, at a certain point in time, if you go to Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 16, he warned and he said that when you see the word war being used, W-O-E being used, there is pain, there is suffering behind that word. So when you see wherever it is used, you experience pain, you experience suffering. And that is the situation in the nation of Zimbabwe. So Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 16 is the era, is the period we are living in as the people of Zimbabwe. So looking at the meaning of this word, you could understand that we have a president who is supposed to be a king, but with the mindset of a servant. That is what the scripture means. So we have a king who is a servant. That is the situation we have right here in the nation of Zimbabwe. So it doesn't mean that when you are looking at this verse, it doesn't mean, it doesn't talk about somebody with humble beginnings. No, it's about simple-minded persons being in charge, being in power. That is the situation we have in Zimbabwe. That is the reason why you see Varakashi, they always do whatever which they want. That is the reason why you see Rigananda, they are at the forefront of everything. And we continue to suffer as a nation. So unlike other presidents, unlike other kings who understand that they must have a mindset of a king, right here in Zimbabwe, we have leadership who does have a mindset of a servant. So they are immature. When you look at them, they are very old, but they are immature. Their immaturity, it's reflected through their behavior, through their actions. They are inexperienced. They lack experience in terms of how good governance should happen. They lack dignity. They lack discipline, and they're not fit for governance. So all those characteristics right now in the nation of Zimbabwe, that verse, it applies to the situation we have right now in the nation of Zimbabwe. So instead of working, instead of leading wisely, instead of making decisions which benefit the nation, the officials in Zimbabwe, they are indulging in pleasure. So they will let everybody who is doing pleasurable things. For example, the Chivayos, they are heroes, they are worshipped in the nation of Zimbabwe simply because he's buying people cars. That is how simple-minded these people have become. So they just bought 10 vehicles for the Women's League, yet we have an Air Force which is killing its pilots. We have more than 4 dead this year alone, instructors and cadets, all resulting from failure to service and to purchase better aircraft for the Air Force. That is how simple-minded these people are. So they don't care about those who protect them. They care about their pleasure. They forget that their pleasure might be short-lived if they do not put maximum security around themselves. So they think that they are well protected, but with an air force which can function, you are not fully protected. They don't think about that. So the verse is very, very clear. It speaks about a princess who feasts in the morning, and this is what they are doing. So they are partying at a time. They are supposed to be sober. They are supposed to be focused. They are supposed to be delivering. They are busy feasting. So when you are looking at feasting, it's symbolic in the scriptures. It represents, or it symbolizes irresponsibility. It symbolizes misplaced priorities. That is the leadership we have in Zimbabwe. So as long as we continue to have simple-minded people in charge of the affairs of our nation, we will continue to have problems. You walk into the hospitals, you will find no medicines. You walk into the government offices, you'll find people there not happy. They will be on strike, literally. They won't be serving as they are supposed to be doing. So when you are looking at this scripture, Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 16, you are looking at the deeper meaning of it. What does it mean? It's talking about incompetency, people who are leading without wisdom, people who are leading without maturity. They will tell you that Chamisa is immature, yet they are actually leading like servants. It's because they are simple-minded. So these are people who will be working 24/7 to destroy the opposition. They will invest everything they have to destroy the opposition. Why? Why can't you simply deliver? Why can't you simply provide services? You are in charge. Just make the hospitals function. Just make sure that there is free education. Just make sure that there is water in the cities. Just make sure that there is equal access to education everywhere, be it in the rural areas, in the urban areas, everywhere. It becomes easy. Just make sure that there are jobs. Just make sure that the nation's resources are benefiting everyone. Instead of focusing on that, they are focusing on silencing an individual, on silencing Nelson Chamisa. This is how simple-minded they are. They have the mindset of a servant. They don't think like kings. They don't act like kings. They don't even resemble kings. So, when you are looking at these scriptures, you go and see Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 16, Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 17. This one, it says, "Blessed are you, O land, when your king is of honorable birth, and your princes eat at the proper time, for strength, not for drunkenness." So we have people who are very, very close to power, who are in the proximity to power. The Mafidi children, all of them in their names, they were not supposed to be eating now. They were supposed to be focusing on making sure that everyone else eats so that they live long. That is what wisdom should tell a leader, that you must make everybody happy, make everybody forget their problems, forget whatever which they are thinking. Then you will live longer, you will have lesser troubles. But they want to eat first, and then they create problems and troubles for themselves. So they will tell you about a 2030 agenda. A 2030 agenda which is not going to see the light of the day. Why? It's because it's hinged on greediness. It's hinged on people who want to eat when it's not time to eat. So the scriptures are very, very clear. Woe unto the land when you have a king with a mindset of a servant. That is the situation we have in Zimbabwe. So a good kingdom, it thrives when rulers are disciplined, when rulers are responsible, when rulers act for the well-being of the nation, not for the well-being of themselves, not for selfish pleasure, Mnangagwa does not understand that. Zanu PF people do not understand that. Chivayo do not understand that. The Sakupkanyas do not understand that. All these Owen Mudas, they do not understand that. They think that they will be there forever. They think that they are the most powerful people. They think that they are the most sophisticated politicians in Zimbabwe. They do not understand that they lack wisdom. They do not understand that they are simple-minded. It will come a time when people will say, okay, let us try them, and they will see their weakness, and they will be exposed, and they will be deposed. It will be very easy. Ndopanopinda shona yanonzi matanda mazununguswa. Kune vachamboti regai timbomazunungusa matanda aya timboona kuti akadzika zvakaita sei. And because they are simple-minded, they will be caught unaware. So the warning to Zanu PF people is there is danger which is coming. You are unqualified to lead, you are undisciplined, you cannot lead, you don't have the qualities of good leaders. You are immature when it comes to the issues of leadership. You are indulging in pleasure instead of making sure that you serve the people. It was very, very simple. You were going to eat whilst everybody else is a fool. You had that chance, you had that opportunity, but you wasted it. And it's time for the people of Zimbabwe to speak with one voice. It's time for the people of Zimbabwe to speak truth to power. So this is a scripture which relates to the situation in Zimbabwe. This is a scripture which relates to what is going to happen in the nation of Zimbabwe. Woe unto the land where the king is simple-minded. When a king carries a mindset of a servant, when a king thinks about eating today and they don't care about tomorrow, they don't care about the future, the day is coming and you will pay for whatever which you have done. So this is it. This is what we have. This is a simple reminder to Zanu PF people that you will not stay there forever. You will not be powerful forever. Your day shall come where your vulnerability will be exposed. Your day shall come when some of you will run into exile. Some of you will be in prison. Some of you will find no refuge. The day will come. It doesn't matter whether we are alive or not, but your day is coming. Whatever which you are doing to others, think about the people who are in diaspora right now, who are in exile right now. Think of them. They never hoped to be in exile today. They never thought they would be in exile today. But they are in exile because they were simple-minded. It's because they thought power, or the power which they had, was going to protect them forever. But fate had other plans for them. So think about the people who said Mugabe will rule from his grave, who rule from the Heroes' Acre. Number one, Mugabe was not buried at the National Heroes' Acre. He himself said, I am not going to be buried there. He refused to be buried there. But there are people who pledged and said, Muchatonga, Muripa National Heroes Acre Baba. Imagine the embarrassment. Imagine the self-humiliation. What are they saying now? Are they going to swallow their words back? No. So the days are coming for the simple-minded, and they shall cry in the nation of Zimbabwe. So we fearlessly talk about these things because the truth should be told as it is. It must come a time where every Zimbabwean speak the truth to power. The day is coming.